Hello friends, welcome back. I am back to filming on my phone, as you may or may not see with the change of quality. Also, I will apologize in advance if I seem to now be looking slightly toward the side, because I'm still trying to figure out how to film on the phone, seeing as the camera is over here, not in front of my face. And I will film this video back in showing you my projects and top-down view, because with the lighting situation in my room, as you've probably seen if you are returning in the past two videos, it's not ideal and I can't really do much about it. And I did film my last Parade with the top-down view, and that I feel worked out a lot better. So we will switch from my face to just my desk and projects in a bit. I had been contemplating even filming today, because I just returned from a 2-day market that I worked on all weekend, and usually I do tend to take the Monday after that just completely off and just chill and do nothing, because those events are very exhausting, both physically and mentally. But I did not want to drop off of my filming habit that early again. So you still get to see me all bad hair day and no makeup and all, but then again, we're not here to win a beauty contest, we're here to talk about cross stitch. So let's talk about cross stitch. If you're new here, I am Sen. I am an artist, I am a designer, I make my own cross stitch patterns, I stitch a lot of other designers' cross stitch patterns. I just in general love to cross stitch. So you will see probably a little bit of both. And yeah, this is my little place to talk about everything cross stitch. I try to upload weekly videos, and all that aside, so far I think I'm back to doing well enough. Let's hope it keeps that way. Let's start talking about what I worked on in the past week. Oh yeah, today is Monday. It is the, let me squint at my screen because I'm not wearing my glasses, the 4th of August. And I didn't do that much cross stitch last week because, again, week running up to market, and I've been working all weekend, from early in the morning, 6 in the morning, and I got back at 10, so not that much cross stitch happened. But I still have 5 projects I worked on that I'm gonna be showing you now. So let's switch the camera and get into the actual stitching. All right, here we are. Also, apologies in advance if there will be some shaking of camera, because my camera is standing right here. Here, this is my tripod. You can see a little bit of it. This is the only way I can set it up for now. So we will have to make do. First project I worked on is a new one. You haven't seen this one before. That is it. It's just this cute little fairy dragon. It has everything I love. It has dragon, crystals, mushrooms, a little bit of mystical night sky. And I haven't done much of it. I'm still just here in this. Also, maybe I should turn on the light. There we go. That's better, isn't it? So I'm just here in this tippy top corner here. So let's see where that is at. I had started this in full cross and then switched it up to tent, because I was like, this is such a massive project. As you can see, just the top corner. Let me fold this, I can hold it closer. We have just the tip of his little wing coming in. And yeah, I did this first part in full cross, then switched to 10 stitch, and I hope I'm not gonna regret it, because this will get bulky or something. Well, then I'm just gonna switch back. So far it's okay, and I don't think you can really see where it got changed, but this only got a little bit of work, not too much, a few hundred stitches. which if you do full coverage, you know, you can't really see that well if you've done a lot on it. Second one I worked on, which some of my returning viewers probably recognize, is the Coffee Dragon. And I did a little bit on him. Let's see where we're at with this one. Grab it real quick. This is where it's currently sitting at in total. Let me see real quick, because we do have a little shadow over here that I do not like. Let's see if I can change that. Ah well, unfortunately I think this is the best I can do, so I hope it's not too distracting that you have this little piece of tripod here in the frame. Anyway, this is where it is at in total. I worked in 2 or 3 more strands over here, and then made my way over to the middle where you can see his face coming in. This is his eye, and I did a little bit of the 310 going up here. So I can hold it closer so you can see better. And this is like my one definite 1/1 full cross piece, because I tried, I started this 3 times or 4 times. I think this is probably the 4th. I think, no, the 3rd. At first I did my customary 2/1 10 stitch, and it got so bulky with all the confetti up here in the first leaf that I gave up. And then somebody suggested trying to do 1/1 10, and I did that, but I absolutely did not like the coverage. And then I went with, okay, let's make an experiment and see how I like 1/1 full cross. And then I started 1/1 full cross, and it is the same coverage as the 2/1 10, obviously, but it's not nearly as bulky. Somebody actually asked me why, and I think a lot of people know already that have tried both, but in case you haven't, seeing in total you work with the same amount of floss, so you would assume it's the same bulkiness. And it is if you have pieces that do not have many colors and where you color block a lot. But with confetti heavy pieces where you travel with your floss, with 2/1 10 stitch you would obviously travel 2 strands of floss. And if you do 1/1 full cross, you just travel with the 1 strand. When you go from here to here with 5 colors, then that's going to be 5 strands. But if you do 10 stitch 2/1, it will be 10 strands, if that makes any sense. So it's double as bulky as it would be if you do the full cross. And that's the entire thing. So it's not only about the coverage, it's a little weird, but yeah, that is where this one's at. Let's move on to the next project. Next up I have this one. It's called Flower Dragoness. Let me put it in frame. I got this pattern from Etsy quite a while ago. I have a few more of their designs. This is by SA Patterns. They have a website and an Etsy shop. I have one of the dragons finished, gave that away to my sister-in-law and my brother, and I have a few more of their patterns that I still need to start and finish. Let's see where we are with her. So this is her, and this is where she is at. And last week I worked on her head, mainly putting in a few more colors to about down here and all the way up to where her feather things are gonna be, and a little bit over here. And I did start with the back stitch around her eye. I am gonna try to do this one a little bit with doing the back stitch while I work on it kind of situation. because where I do not mind backstitch, it can end up being a lot, especially in a piece like this. You see that she has a ton of backstitch. She also has French knots, which I tried to do in the eye, and I figured that I absolutely still hate French knots. So I just put the white extra stitches in her eye where they need to be, and where there are French knots on the blue of her eye, I just made little X's. And same here, there's supposed to be a French knot. So where I feel it's absolutely necessary to put some white in, I will do it like that, but I will not do French knots. I just can't make them look good, and it makes me dislike the entire look of the piece. And I don't feel that they are absolutely necessary. I will do the white backstitching that she has, but I will just leave out the French knots. But yeah, that's where I am with her. And I have 2 more to show you. So let's move on to those. Next one I worked on is this one here. That is the Enchanted Forest Baby Dragon from Graphitech on Etsy that I started quite recently, and I did get quite a few stitches in. This is also one I'm doing full cross, 1/1, although this is on a slightly larger count, and this is where this is currently at in total. And I did work on the leaves up here, as you can see, working the strands in all the way down here and basically completing the respective colors on this first page and then parking them somewhere. And I tend to use like these bobbins to roll my parked threads on so that they don't tangle and get all fuzzy. This is where this one's at. I really do like working on it, and I want to keep working on it, so I'm probably gonna be doing a little bit on it this week just to give it some substance and see how it looks stitched up. So probably gonna put a bit of 310 in as well. There's a lot of 310 in these outside frame like branches as soon as I finish these little leaves up here. So this is where this one's at. And I'm obviously gonna, you've seen that with the other ones, but I didn't mention putting like the before and after pictures in. Okay, we have one more. So let me put this one away and grab the other one. So the last one I worked on is this one here. They don't really have a name, it's just called Dragon Round Landscape, I think. I'm not exactly sure. And I will have to look up who this is by and then hopefully manage to put it in, because it is not on the printout, as you can see, the shop name. And this is what it currently looks like. I did work a bit over here in this background, filling out this background. Do not mind this line here. I at one point went all the way, I can't even fit this fully in frame, but as you can see, I went all the way down here to see how big this is so I could cut the fabric, but that's not really progressed down there. That's where this one's at. Just a few, like two or three strands in the background, and a little bit over here with the light purple. And yeah, this is 2/2 full cross, and I believe this is 16 count, just plain cheap Aida that I got from China for different purposes, but yeah, I'm using it for this one. And this is what this one looks like. I am just slightly unhappy about the way like these two colors match up, like this one and this one here, because I mean, we will see how it looks like when I put more of this color in, but in the mock-up picture, as you can see, it looks a lot different. And this is not the first time that I've had an instance like this with Etsy patterns. And I am still wondering if this is just because I am stitching with CXD and not DMC, or if this is the classic case of not model stitched patterns. And I do still like it a lot. I will like it even if there's like no difference between this purple and this purple. That will just make it a bigger difference between this purple here and this purple around the moon, because as you can already see, this one's a lot lighter than this one. But we'll see how it looks like. I still like it a lot. I still think it's super pretty. And I'm just saying this because, you know, I design my own patterns and I usually model stitch when I can. The only ones that I don't fully model stitch are like really large ones, or the ones that only have 1 or 2 colors, because then you can just, it's probably gonna work out. That's what I'm saying. Or that just have 1 color where you can use multicolored flosses to your liking, like with my mandalas and such. But anyway, we will see how this turns out, and no shame on the designer really. If this is a bigger project, if I like me making at least 1 pattern a month, I possibly couldn't model stitch. I would have to find someone who does, and then that would probably also take quite a while. But yeah, that's where this one's at. I like stitching on it, so I'm probably gonna keep this one out this week as well for a little bit longer. And that is all the patterns that I worked on this week. So let's move back to my face, shall we? So here we are again. And as you can see, we have been joined by a cat. That's Sato in the back there, just chilling. For once not nagging me about food or some other thing. So yeah, that's all the patterns that I worked on this past week. I hope you did like them. I did say I was gonna just pull out my dragons and just work on dragons, and I might do this for another week. We'll see, maybe even 2. And I do have quite a few. You didn't see all of them. So I do hope you liked what you saw. I will link all of the patterns that I've been showing down in the description below. Let me know if you like this form of video, like with the top-down view of the patterns, and because I personally do, I find it a lot easier to work with. I will probably keep it up for a while and figure it out. I think the lighting situation is quite a lot better. But yeah, until then, that is all I have for you for this week. I hope again that you did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you can keep watching my progress on these and a lot more patterns that I have that I keep working on more or less frequently. And do leave me a comment down in the comment section if you have any questions, or if you just want to chat. Tell me what you stitched on while watching. I would love to see. And well, until hopefully next week, everyone. Bye bye.